Today is a very cold day, but a lovely day at that. Get a question about, can you run in Vibram FiveFingers, in minimalist shoes, in non-trainers, in sub-zero temperatures? It's a bright sun in my face there, thank you Mr. Sun. Off you go. Okay, and the answer is yes. So some people have said, will I not get really cold toes? Will my feet not go numb? And all that kind of stuff. So today I'm testing it out. I'm out in this beautiful day, but look at the sparkle coming off the ground. Maybe you can't see it there, but that's just totally white with frost. And I am wearing, with no socks, the Vibram V-train shoes that I've got tonight, and I'm just doing a morning sprint training session. There's a very simple sprint train. From this lamppost, I'll jog up to the pace which I would want to jog like a 10k at, to the second lamppost. So like, yes, this would be my happy speed, and then this next lamppost I boost it up to about 90% of my max speed. Ooh. And then I just run it off at the end. So one thing's for sure so far is catch my breath again. They're not slipping. The grip from Vibram is doing well on this frosty ground. Look at the sparkles in there. Lovely. The grip seems to be doing fine. There's no slide going on. Temperature wise, your feet will be more cold than in trainers. Obviously trainers have a nice big like what would you call it? It's not padding, you know, lots of covering of your feet, and you'll probably be wearing socks. These are without socks, and you're only like 3 millimeters away from actually touching the ground, and with a thin surface. However, because your toes and your feet are doing so much more work, they're flexing so much more, your toes are gripping, you're on the balls of your feet rather than heel striking. Your feet are far more active than if, now that is, okay, that's actually too much of a slide. You're actually, your feet are much more active, much more blood going into your feet and keeping them warm. So the main thing is avoiding wet surfaces when you're in the cold. If it's proper cold, proper frosty like this, going out in Vibrams, absolutely fine. Just be careful of wet, nobody call it frosty wood, because that is incredibly slippy. I don't think anything would grip on that, but I'll give it a try. Nope. So yeah, just avoid the wet bits and try and keep your feet dry while you're doing it. But because, as I say, your feet are doing so much more work in the snow, or yeah, in the snow as well, that your feet stay warm. Like, I'm not feeling cold. Certainly that's how it has been in my case. Maybe if you check out other barefoot runners, like Cal Clash Fitness, I'll put his link down below. He's training for his Ironman or triathlon at the moment. Well, an Ironman is a triathlon, but just more hardcore. He might have other tips about it, but generally, like, a lot of people say, oh, do you need to get socks and stuff if you're doing it in Vibrams? And yeah, that's impossible to stand on as well. I don't think so, unless it's wet. So, but even then, when it's wet, the only thing that socks are going to do is give you like a wetsuit environment, so your feet get warm from the wet socks and movement. But generally, this is like, it's about -3 degrees Celsius this morning. Apart from in the sun, the sun's nice and warm in my face, but on the ground that's just pure frost. No snow or anything, just pure frost on the ground. Yeah, you can happily go for a jog and do some sprint training in sub-zero temperatures with Vibram FiveFingers. So yeah, the only thing I would say for me this morning, out with the original question, is I'm doing sprint training in this type of weather. There is a severe likelihood of developing exercise-induced asthma, exercise-induced broncho restriction. and that's from going from a nice warm bit. Like, this is the first thing in the morning. Like, look where the sun is. It's not going up. This is first thing in the morning. The trick is to make sure you have a proper warm up and get acclimatized to the outside temperature before you go out and do any sprints, because when you're doing sprints, and actually what I'd say, hold on, the other thing about short interval sprints like that is that when you're sucking in air after you've done your little hill sprint, you're doing it when you don't have cold air blasting into your face. So the bronchorestriction, the exercise-induced asthma, is usually when you're going and you're sucking in really cold air, cold, dry air, especially if you've been in a warm, possibly humid room. Like going for like a warm shower before you come out into this. Bad idea, bad idea. So here I did about 10 minutes of skipping before I came out. So there, again, you're not getting cold air into your face. You can stop after about 20 seconds of skipping, let your body acclimatise to this temperature. And although it's only 3 degrees, don't feel like I need to have a hat on. Fingers feel a wee bit numb from holding the camera. However, this hand, nice and warm. This hand, a bit numb from holding the camera. So don't hold the camera. That'd be my other tip. Because again, when you're sprinting, you're getting your blood moving all around your body. So yeah, the interval training in the cold is probably a good one to do, but I mean very short intervals. Like this is the length of a one lamppost and another. What's that, about 20 meters? But it's all about how much effort you put into it. So again, this one's slightly downhill. This is the speed I want to do 10k at, and then I go a little bit faster, really using my arms. So effectively building up your anaerobic capacity as well, and your leg strength, hip strength, your running posture, and all that kind of stuff. Really doing sprints like that, good for your butt, good for your calves, good for just developing speed. It really engages the core as well. So again, if you're somebody with sciatica like myself, maybe wait until your back is really okay again before you do sprints, because you're really engaging the core when you're doing that. So anyway, I'm going to do another 8 or 10 more laps of this, and that, let's just see where my heart rate's at now. Yeah, so heart rate, if you can see that, can you see that? 160. So on my Mio fitness tracker, that's me and my highest level of what do you call it, heart rate. So I've got 3 levels of heart rate. Anything above 151, that's considered high intensity, and that gets me the most Mio Pi points. So don't need to go much higher than that. Don't need to try and get up to 170, 180, but we'll give it a try anyway. But you don't need to, because you're getting the benefit from anything over 151 for my age, for my weight, for my fitness level. And yeah, so in between each interval, have a little time to walk it off. And yeah, while doing this, not once have I thought, oh man, my toes are cold, oh no, how. And these, the V-train shoes that I've got, walking over stones like this, no problem. Don't like, to the point where it's almost, that's a negative, because you're not feeling the ground quite as much as you should be under your feet. But generally good for simple walk off. And again, when you're in your Vibrams, you're running on the balls of your feet, on your toes, on your forefoot striking, so that stops me from getting any hip or knee pains at all. Like last week I did a 10k, and I did it in my very soft squishy shoes, and around about the 7k mark it was getting to the point where I was like, oh, I'm getting pain in my knee, IT band area. So I was like, that's getting a bit sore. And again, if I did it in my Vibrams, I may have very, very sore calves, but it stops you from having any IT pain going on. So yeah, that's my little tips. Yes, you can walk or run in your Vibrams in frosty weather, because you're using your feet so much more than if you're wearing normal trainers. Just try and make sure it's in the dry cold, and if you're doing interval training in the cold, make sure you have a proper warm-up, you get acclimatized to the temperature, and very short intervals to the point where you're not sucking in cold air while you're still sprinting. Make it as anaerobic instead of aerobic as possible. So yeah, might go, look at that, isn't that just beautiful? Lovely. Might do a run up there or back there. Okay, see you guys later. Okay, and last bit, bonus tip, we'll call that. If you're using cardio or interval training to lose weight or burn fat, doing it in the cold has extra benefits. What I would say, well, first of all, I would say generally you shouldn't do cardio for weight loss. It's a pretty rubbish, or fat loss, it's a pretty rubbish tool unless you're doing lots of cardio. I was at one point, I was doing about 50 kilometers a week, and 50 kilometers a week, barely see any weight loss or fat loss. You have to be doing, I would say, around about maybe 50 miles, 70, 80 kilometers plus a week to really see any kind of fat loss or weight loss effects from cardio. Interval training, so what I always say is do cardio to get fit. You know, make being fit a goal rather than weight loss your goal. Like, being fit means you're healthier. Being fat and fit is being better than skinny and unfit. So yeah, do cardio to get fit so you can enjoy the ability to go for a run, to just get up and go, it's a lovely day, I'm going to go and enjoy the sunshine, get some vitamin D through my bald head first thing in the morning. But yeah, one of the benefits, surprise benefits of doing cardio in the cold, or any exercise in the cold, is you burn more fat. Not necessarily when you're doing the exercise, but in what's known as the afterburn, afterwards. Because effectively, you're running in the cold, your body wants to keep its core temperature stable, so it has to use more energy to keep everything at 37 degrees or wherever it is. And when you're out in the cold, your body's having to use far more metabolic pathways to keep your internal homeostasis stable. It means when, after you've done your run, your body, your core part of your body is very warm. Your core has had to like almost be over hot to keep the rest of your body the normal temperature. So when you go back inside and have a hot shower, I'll keep my heart rate tracker on, and instead of dropping back down to like 110, 115, when I go into the shower, my heart rate will be elevated around about 125, 130. And I would just be like, I'm just having a relaxing shower. Why is my heart rate doing more than double the relaxing pace? Just because your body going from cold to hot, sudden total transition of your blood circulatory system going on, having to redirect your heat dispensing areas and all that kind of stuff. Your body's having to just work overtime again. So your afterburn, one, from doing interval training, you've got much more. It's called what's it called? EPOC, exercise post oxygen consumption, or post exercise post, it should be spelled the other way, can't remember, but it's like how much oxygen you're using after you've done your exercise. So interval training does a lot of that, but going from cold to hot, massive benefits. Like there's some guy trying to promote a weight loss, an easy weight loss program where all you had to do was have cold showers every day, or sleep in a cold room, put your house thermostat down a certain temperature, and you'd magically lose body fat. And effectively he was saying that by having cold showers, cold baths, sleeping in a cold room, your body uses more of its brown fat, your adipose tissue, rather than your subcutaneous fat. I think that's what it was. I haven't quite remembered what he said. It was what I thought slightly nonsense. But well, slightly nonsense in the fact of nobody's going to do it. Nobody's going to go, I want to lose weight, I'm going to have a cold shower. If you're motivated enough to have cold showers every morning to lose weight, you're clearly motivated enough to go for some exercise, so to go do some weightlifting, to do some skipping. Yeah, so having a miserable shower every day, having a miserable cold night every night, which granted you can get used to, a great way to lose weight without trying, or burn fat without trying. But another way is just do some cardio, do some exercise, do some interval training in the cold, and when you go back into a warm place, your heart rate is elevated for an extended period of time. So I'm going to head back to the house just now. We'll just see, my heart rate is at like 130. Just finished my last kind of run there. I've been out for 46 minutes, and I've done 30 pi. So I'm just gonna relaxingly walk home, get in the house, do about 10 minutes of stretching, and have a nice 5-minute hot shower, and I'll show you my heart rate when in the shower as well.